So my goal here is to show the installation of the various lights on my Funkey 600 size Long Ranger, which will be ultimately powered by a Chaos 600 mechanic set. But anyway, this is all about the lights. Using the Scale RC Heli controller and some more or less, or mostly just purchased LEDs from a company called Lighthouse. So just give you a couple of quick steps here with nothing lit, and then we'll light it up and show the pictures from there. In this kit, it comes with this little molding already in the fin here for the nav lights. What I did is, before I drilled it and fit any lights to it, I snapped a silicone mold off of it so that I could make some more, because I had seen a picture of a real Jet Ranger that had additional nav lights up front here, which you can't really see too well in the middle of all that black, but I wanted to add those up here, so I wanted the shape of the molding to graft on there to put lights in. So that was my addition there. All of these lights that are in the nav locations, as well as the one on the tail for anti-collision, are all from Lighthouse. They're the 3mm pre-wired for 6 volts lights. I used clear white, obviously, ultra brights, red and green ultra brights for those. For the tail beacon and for these beacons that I put on the top of the doghouse and under the belly, those are 5mm concave wide angle flat top, not pre-wired lights. And then for the landing light and the warning light, I built this little housing here out of styrene and styrene tube, and that has 5mm pre-wired 6 volt ultra bright whites in it, and you can kind of see the housing from the inside here. So that's the lights I used everywhere, and so now we'll light it up and have a little look at it in that world. So now the power's on, and you can see we've got lights flashing here, there, and everywhere. And so we'll do a little tour now of the lights. Again, here's the nav lights, both front and rear, are 3mm pre-wired 6 volt sets from Lighthouse, ultra brights for the strobes, and then ultra bright green for the actual marker lights. And then at the back, for the anti-collision light, it's just a pure white 3mm one again. In this case, I'm powering the system from a 4-cell nickel metal hydride AA pack, so it's nominally 6 volts. For the beacon is again that flat top concave wide angle 5mm with a 120 ohm quarter watt resistor on it. And now that I've got the timing better on it, I'm pretty satisfied with the way it looks. We move over to the upper and lower beacons, if you like. Those are connected to one of the strobe outlets on the flight controller, or on the light controller. And then at the front I have pretty much the same setup as the one on the rear horizontal. Right now these bulbs aren't quite through the housing far enough, so they're a bit focused. When I go to fit them up finally, I'm going to put little recesses on the inside of the fuselage so that the bulb can poke through a little farther. It'll look better. And then up front we have the landing warning lights. These are the 5mm pre-wired 6-volt ultra bright whites, and they light up the front end pretty well. In the dark, this thing is pretty convincing, and actually lights up the room or the area you're in quite a bit. I'll just turn the lights down here a little bit so you can get the effect a little better, but that's what that all looks like. You can see the little spot on the ground in front of the helicopter, and of course as you get some elevation, that light just moves farther and farther out in front. It actually looks really good when you get the helicopter 3 or 4 feet off the ground, which I've done by hand so far. So there you are. That's the tour. This is the high-powered scale RC Heli version 1.1B setup, and the programming is just cool as all get out. You can fool around with the timing and make everything look as good or bad as you can come up with, but it's pretty neat, and it functions quite well. So that's the tour, and that's the lights, and there you go. And just so you know that I stayed true to form, over on this side we have red and strobes flashing. So all very good and cool.